Well, at 31, Bill Gates became the youngest billionaire ever. At 39, he was the richest man on Earth. From age 8, Gates had access to a computer at his school where he could learn to program, a luxury very few people at all had at that point in history, which just so happened to be the dawn of personal computing. This opportunity for an early start with his ambition and perseverance, which got him banned from school for a while for hacking, helped him clock in the Malcolm Gladwell-approved 10,000 hours of practice before even finishing high school. Similar to other mavericks like Elon Musk, Gates proceeded to hustle, work 16-hour days, and never stop learning and improving himself. He is known for reading one book a week and believes he can improve the way he thinks by following the advice outlined in John Medina's book Brain Rules. Luck, of course, has also played a part in his story, like meeting Paul Allen while he was still a teenager, or working with Steve Jobs and being inspired to create Windows. Let's get into some more details. It's certainly true that most internet company founders now trade shares for venture capital investments. The cash enables them to build substantial businesses before they start to worry about becoming profitable. Google, Facebook, and Twitter all did it. The drawback is that when they go public to pay back their investors, the founders may not have much left. Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg did well to emerge with 28%, but it might have been 15% or even less. After Microsoft went public 30 years ago this month, Bill Gates still owned 45% of the company. If only he'd held on to his stake, Gates would be worth $193 billion today instead of a measly $81 billion. The main point is that Gates became the world's richest man because that wasn't his intention. He refused to take venture capital to expand faster, and he tried to avoid going public even after rivals such as Lotus Development and Ashton Tate showed it was a quick route to vast piles of cash. Of course, Microsoft was still a small company way back then in 1985. Turnover was $140 million, and when Microsoft shares opened at $21, Gates only got $1.6 million for the shares he sold. Very sensibly, he paid off his mortgage. Even after the shares settled at $31.25, Gates' paper fortune was only $350 million, which is roughly what Twitter spent on MoPub. So the real reason Gates became absurdly rich was that the value of each Microsoft shares increased by around 60,000%. Most of that growth was driven by the success of Windows 95 and Microsoft Office, and by the internet-inspired dot-com bubble. It didn't last. Microsoft was found guilty in the antitrust courts, and the dot-com bubble burst, though the shares are now closing in on their all-time high. Gates isn't as rich as he could be because, following the antitrust case, he started removing himself from Microsoft. He stepped down as CEO in January 2000, started working part-time in 2006, and stopped working in 2008, though he remained chairman until 2014. He also sold off almost all of his Microsoft shares. Gates now owns less than 3% and is no longer the largest individual shareholder. That honor goes to Steve Ballmer. Bill Gates had a long run as the world's richest man, from 1995 to 2007, before devoting himself to good works. What is perhaps more surprising is that even after giving $28 to $38 billion to the charitable foundation he runs with his wife Melinda, Gates' wealth has doubled to put him back on top. It would be reasonable to assume that someone who became so absurdly rich must have been driven by the lust for money. That was never the case with Gates. Indeed, he often wished he wasn't the world's richest man because of the attention and envy it attracted. He is, after all, a software geek with modest hobbies, mainly playing bridge with Warren Buffett and reading books. As he told students at the University of Washington, "I can understand wanting to have millions of dollars. There's a certain freedom, meaningful freedom that comes with that. But once you get much beyond that, I have to tell you, it's the same hamburger." Currently, Bill Gates has a net worth of approximately $91.3 billion. That number is already incredibly impressive before realizing how many of his Microsoft shares he has given away over the years. Microsoft may be his baby, but these days he only has a 1.3% stake in the company. According to some sources, his last donation in 2017 was $4.6 billion worth of shares. Forbes magazine tracks the richest people in the world on a year-to-year basis. According to them, from 2017 to 2018, he went from being worth $86 billion to be worth $90 billion. That means in 2017, Gates' net worth increased by $4 billion in 1 year alone. Yes, you heard it right, $4 billion in a single year. After listening to Bill Gates' story, are you thinking to become a millionaire in the future? So guys, comment down below and mention which part of the video was your favorite one, and don't forget to drop your suggestions for our next video.